If you guys can't tell already, it's about to be a very interesting show. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's DISHIN Days, where we dish all of the happenings of your favorite soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Make sure you guys go to Facebook, like us, DISHIN Days, and also like us on Instagram. That was me.
Okay.
Also like us on Instagram, which is DISHIN Days as well. We have a packed house tonight.
Yes, we do.
I am your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by my chocolate twin,
James Lott Jr.
And to
Your
my
white chocolate twin.
Yeah, well,
I thought he said James Latte.
Close enough. Close enough.
there you go.
Yeah, close enough.
For all our French friends.
Yes, my French friend, Latte Jr.
James Latte Jr., life coach.
That's right.
Aren't you a life coach?
I am.
Okay.
That's right.
and of course we have Mrs. Billy Flynn here.
That's me, Mark J. Freeman. Flynn. I'm hyphenating.
You're hyphenating Flynn.
Oh, that's
How was
great.
the honeymoon?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Okay.
No, it's going to be in Niagara Falls. It's going to be fantastic.
It'll be at people.com this week.
We're calling it Flynn at the Falls.
And Mark, don't forget about your hair.
And don't forget to follow my hair on Twitter, Living for the Hair.
And you think I'm a diva?
Well,
Rest my case.
I'm just saying.
Rest my case.
I'm just saying.
That's why I was glad you were here, because it's gonna,
Okay.
I'm
Because
going
you're
to
gonna
be
bring it
the
down?
non-diva.
I don't know about that.
Well, speaking of
This is
divas,
the diva end over here.
we have not one but two,
There you go.
and both are equally soap legends. We
Yes.
have one who is the soap legend of all things journalistic in the soap world. He's been doing this for many years and knows exactly what he's talking about when it comes to soaps. He is our very own Mr.
Michael Fairman. Yes, I love how you say many years.
We were
Many.
Decades.
We didn't want to, you know.
No, you have
Decades.
to. Well, you always have to be nice. It's just
Yes.
it's many years because it's like you started yesterday.
I'm embracing my old age. Thank you.
He calls me old,
Not really.
so I don't know why he's being nice to you.
No, I am old.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
But she's gorgeous and very
Yes, she is.
succulent.
See,
Yes,
she
she
just
is.
didn't need to deny it. There you go. And I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you.
And I'm Kassie DePavia.
Yes.
For
If you
those of
didn't
you who
know
don't
already.
know.
Did you hear how she said it?
Play that badass
DePaiva?
E.
Yes.
Yeah.
DePaiva.
DePaiva. What did you
DePaiva.
say?
Okay, are you saying it?
DePaiva.
DePaiva?
Now, ever since I've met Cassie,
Yes.
I have had trouble saying her last name.
It's a terrible
and
last
she's
name.
given me
Terrible.
It is.
she's giving me tips. She's like, it's like saliva, and I'm
that's
like,
the easiest way
Yeah.
to
yes.
remember it.
But then I say it in my head, and I'm like, the saliva. The pipe, and I still like-
Godiva.
okay.
Oh, good time.
Well, it's
You know,
whenever...
being one of the chocolate twins.
Oh, hello.
Triplets.
Yes, triplets. Exactly.
We're now triplets.
when then you were doing one of the fan events,
Yeah.
and he would read off everybody who was
yes.
going to be there, and you were always the last name he said.
Yes.
And I knew it was because he was like, I just don't want to say mess up
I
the
know.
name.
People mess
was
it up
hysterical.
all the time.
Yeah, no.
Well,
good.
well, thank you to my
It's okay.
co-host for throwing me under the
Well, you know, Cassie and I go way back.
Really,
So
really
we were
way
all
back.
so excited we were on the show today because we never get a chance to see each other that much,
No.
which is kind of a shame.
And, you know, I mean, really go way back.
Really back.
So I was very excited.
Good. Well,
I'm
DISHIN
just
Days.
really happy to be here because I love all y'all. And y'all are funny. You're so funny. And I asked to be on the show. They didn't even want me on the show. But I said, I'm coming.
She just showed
Tom
up.
said crazy for Cassie's going to go off on us. If she thinks that that's
Well,
true.
Crazy for
You want her.
Cassie is crazy for Cassie,
She
and
is.
God love you.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
That's right.
She's my only fan.
I beg to differ. Yeah.
Well, let's get this
Party
DISHIN
started?
Days bus rolling. First of all, brief chat about the whole new writing.
Wait, are we going to...
and-
We didn't say...
Well, because it's not that time yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
What time is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What time is it?
Yeah.
We're about to
It's
get
pizza
there.
roll time.
I never read my outline, so
See,
that's
well, see, you know why? Because you're too busy reading all of Billy Flynn's tweets.
And-
Well,
Hair
somebody
Twitter.
has to. Somebody has to.
His hair Twitter.
Can you hear me?
I can hear
You
that.
can hear me. Okay.
So
I can hear you.
That's what matters.
That's all I care about.
So we are now fully into the new writing and the
Yes.
new look of
Yes.
Days. I don't know if it's just because we've been anticipating the new writing, but I am starting to feel how I felt when I first started watching Days, and like that sort of ooh, like wasn't expecting that. And,
Yeah.
ooh, I kind of wonder what's gonna happen tomorrow. Kind of a feel. Like it's slowly like getting back into that.
Well, the Friday cliffhanger was so great because it was the
Yes.
first time in so long that I can remember a cliffhanger that had so many legs to it.
Yes.
At the end,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
at the end,
Yes.
that really all tied together.
Yes.
And so that's what to me was a signified like, oh, good, they get this. You know,
Yes.
they get this. It seemed contemporary. It seemed like, you know, talking about some primetime shows do it, and a real kick upward, you know what I mean,
Yes.
from what it had been. You know, it was difficult for me. I think I've said to you that getting through a lot of the last several months of days were difficult,
Yes.
episode by episode. It was like you could literally tune out and then tune
Mark
back
usually
in.
does.
And
Not
I mean,
not when Billy was on.
well, not when
Or
Billy-
Kassie.
Or
Kassie.
Kassie.
Thank you very much.
But you
Yes,
did-
I was just going to say that. Were you so? Yes. Weren't we fabulous? Yes, we were. Those were the three faces of Eve. There you
I love
go.
that. Three Faces of Eve. I love that.
But you did see right away, like, you know, they clearly established from that Wednesday episode, the first
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
that,
Oh,
you,
yeah.
that you saw John and Marlena,
Yeah.
you saw Hope again. I think it's great that Christian is storyline
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
you saw a lot of the favorites getting, like, integrated back
Yes.
You
in.
saw
Yes.
families. You
You saw
saw.
families.
You saw.
All the people standing around Caroline.
Yes, Caroline, and you really saw them care and reference family, and then the bicentennial,
Yeah.
and so it's really
Even
wonderful.
Eve donated to the.
I know she had her own agenda, but you know, out of the kindness of her little old heart.
Eating routine.
What I like about what I've seen a difference is the conversations are longer.
But they were longer scenes.
Yes. Yeah.
They were longer characters.
They're not just like
scenes.
cut. It's like they're actually having conversations.
Conversations.
And I really enjoy that.
I
Actually.
think the tone, I sense a whole different tone
Yeah,
of the show,
absolutely.
as well as visual.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, I
visually
mean, they're
too.
still playing that porn music behind me. Okay,
Yeah.
but I feel that the tone of the show is done a real shift, and even on set, when the shift was taking over, Albert is out there on set, and it's you just have a sense that somebody is really paying attention.
Yeah.
And while they're trying to get out of the old storylines, the new ones are definitely, like, you can see how they positioned all the characters quickly.
Yeah.
With,
Oh, yeah.
Which we'll go in, I'm sure, but new jobs or
Yes.
partnerships or, you know, it was not,
Yeah.
we didn't have to wait like
Nope.
8 years to
Yeah.
get to Rafe becoming,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
they moved it along.
Yes.
And it made sense, and it didn't just like
Right,
yeah.
it. You know, in one speech, you kind of go, "Oh, no,
yeah.
he's coming back!
Exactly.
Awesome!"
Yeah.
And like John with the ISA. I
Yeah.
mean, like
Yes.
there was like we're positioning for that, obviously for the Boast or, you know, whatever
Right.
that was going on. We weren't like waiting.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
you know, and that's a lot of prime time too. You
Yes.
just go from scene to scene.
Well, it keeps
quickly.
you know that if you miss out, you've missed out. So you don't want to miss out.
Exactly.
And we're also seeing people who should be in scenes together
Yes.
Yes.
Seeing Roman and John talking. It's like just seeing people
Which
together.
I thought was funny because,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
Roman giving John advice. It's
Yes.
like, they kind of threw that out of it. It was
Yeah.
like, this was the whole thing with Roman and John
Oh,
from
yeah.
Marlene. And he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what are you doing in my life? You know,
It was kind of cool to see them
but it
together.
was cool to see them together.
Right. It's kind of cool to see people that actually think they should be together sometimes
Right.
talking. And there you go.
And not being confused about like, oh wait, what? How are they?
how-
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with all that, let's wait no longer. Let's start
DISHIN Days.
It's the hardest part of the job. It's the hardest part.
It's like the Horton ornaments.
Yes.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully one day I'll have my ornament.
Aw.
I don't know how that will happen.
A Horton ornament.
But it won't have,
Okay.
it won't have a name. It'll say #Tony's.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hashtag
There you go.
Maxine Son.
There you go, all day long.
That's funny. So
All right.
let's go right in
Yeah.
to My Girl Hope. It's continually have a storyline. So this is Aiden, Rafe, and Hope.
Yes.
And so this week we have Rafe when he be reinstated. That it's been
And didn't you love how that went? And she went to tell Hope, and she's like, "Yeah, okay." And then all of a sudden, she did the happy dance.
Of
It was so great.
Now, did we notice it was a new office?
Yes. I
Yes.
noticed right away.
Finally.
I know we saw
Finally, the new
Yeah.
outfit.
There was a
You mean
few-
it wasn't Jennifer, blah, 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 Daniel, blah, 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 blah?
Let's move the picture
It
over
was.
there.
It was a
You'll
new
never
office, was it?
know.
I noticed something like that.
It's an
Oh my gosh.
investigation room.
It was too.
Yeah.
Well, they used to have that like, back in the day. They always had that investigation room. I'm so glad they brought that back because I got
The
tired of like,
interrogation room.
yes.
Yeah.
What did I say? Investigation
I'm just
room.
saying it's interrogation, right?
That. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said investigation rooms. My bad, Michael. Okay. Gosh,
I was
so
right
much
behind
pressure here.
you. But no, but like they had that one office and everyone was either to the right or to the left and changed pictures and changed desks. And I'm just like, I'm not buying it. You are walking into Sunny, Jennifer, Daniel, Aiden, Holt, like everyone had the same.
Abigail, Marlena.
Everybody had
I've been
the same
there. I've been in
office.
all of them.
Yes, you have.
Just changed the door.
You do show up a lot of
I
times
do.
to start problems. And so we have that storyline kind of going along.
Yes.
But meantime, Aiden, I bring up these both because they're both kind of vying for Hope, so to speak. Hope's getting lots of attention. But
Like,
she
all of a
deserves it, of
sudden-
course. She
Well,
deserves
I
it.
think what's great is all of a sudden Hope's really going to have 3 men.
Yes.
We've got Bo, who
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting that Christian, who's great, has
Yeah.
finally got like something to work with these 3 guys.
Yeah.
And what about?
And
like-
it's given some great time because she had her goodbye scenes through the letter
Yes.
with
Yeah.
Bo to
Yeah.
find her way to Aiden. And Aiden, I mean, I love Daniel Cosgrove.
Oh, he's a great
and he's
actor.
really had to find the meat of that character and make it believable because people were so, it's
yeah.
hard to
Oh,
step
yeah.
on that Bo territory. And I think
Yeah.
he's done it with
Yeah.
style and he's so genuine and he's just
He's a
wonderful.
great actor, Daniel
Yes.
Cosgrove, and
He
one of the
is.
things I want to say was exactly piggybacking on that is that when he came on the show, at first, it was like, oh, this guy's going to be bad,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And then it seemed like he was going to be good, but now the new writers are clearly
Yes.
making him bad.
You're making him bad.
But I will have to see. Because is he being?
Well, is there a reason
Is he?
behind?
Is somebody?
Right.
Got the heel to his?
Right,
Oh, yeah,
right,
that's
right.
true.
We'll
But
see.
I'm saying now there's obviously agendas going on.
Yes.
And
Which,
Daniel has,
that came out of nowhere too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that just doesn't.
which is
Well,
good.
Yeah.
I guess.
I guess.
But no, but there's some stuff going on. He and Clyde, there's something
There's
going
something-
on.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah, there's something
things.
on there, yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's been an agenda. It just hasn't been specified, and I think it's
Right.
going to be coming
Well,
out.
and was it me that I just thought it was odd that Daniel,
Aiden.
Aiden, thank you, that he called out Rafe's
Feelings for Hope.
Yes, he did.
was that odd?
No,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, here we go. Now everyone is realizing that Rafe has feelings for
Yes.
Hope, and like everyone's calling him out on
But
it.
like, I
Oh
don't-
no way!
That
Every
really drove me nuts. I
No
have to tell
way!
You.
I did drop bother me because every shot, even in the past regime, you'd see Rafe go like watching
I'm
them.
watching like puppy dog eyes and like everybody. But the funniest thing was like John going, "I think you've got a thing for her."
Yeah.
And the next one like, "I think you've got
Yeah.
a thing for her."
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
But I get it.
I think they're now really trying to establish that yes, he has a thing for
Okay,
her.
say, can y'all all 4 of you go? I think
Oh,
say it.
all at the
1,
same time?
2, 3.
I think you have a thing for her.
Very good, guys.
Now, here's the thing, because I always said about Daniel Cosgrove and with Galen Gehring, they are leading men. They should be in leading men positions.
Beautiful
Yeah.
man too.
I mean, they are, but it's just, they're leading men. And I've seen them on other shows, obviously, be that. And it's like they should be front and center, going for Kristen Alfonso, for Hope. I mean, Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that I was kind of about when Aiden did get the phone call that like I've been assigned to Hope and blah blah. I was like, okay, y'all had a chance to make him cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, like when the whole wife storyline happened.
Oh, with back in the cabin and
so,
stuff.
Yeah, so
that's what I'm
Which
saying.
Yeah,
they
so
did a
if-
beautiful job with that
No, they
stuff
did,
too.
they did.
Yeah.
They did.
But then, like, if you were gonna make him crazy then. Like, don't go, okay, no, he's not crazy. Oh, the wife was crazy. Okay, oh, we love Aiden and Hope together. And now it's like, what do you mean you're on assignment? What is this? What's going on?
Yeah.
Like, don't tug at my emotions like this.
See, I think they probably back in the day I think maybe they were going to do that, and then they realized, wow, these two really are good
Yeah.
together.
I kind of-
Yeah.
And I think they did a
Yeah.
shift
Yeah.
because we are 5.5 months ahead. It's going to be hard to turn the Titanic.
That's
so
true.
I think that they saw that and said, "Oh,
we gotta turn
let's
this back
make it."
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my feeling.
I
Yeah.
kind of agree with that, and also, but of course, with the plotting of the 50th anniversary story and getting Peter back, that also changed possibly the complexity, and we have to have some good and bad guys or complex people.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not going to throw
Yes,
Aiden
complicated.
complicated
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I have one small rant.
Okay, what is it?
It's a quick one.
Okay, let's see.
When officer number 1, whoever he was,
Okay, minute.
and goes, you and Rafe were just as almost as good as you and Bo. No, MF. They were not as good. You can't compare Bo and Hope's years working together compared to what they were together for like a year or so.
It's not the size of the wave, it's the motion of the ocean.
And obviously
For the record.
And there is the agenda. We're going to make sure that we're establishing that Hope and Rafe.
It happens. It happens.
And Rafe.
Yes.
Yeah, have some kind of thing.
But I like them together. I was just like, nah, I ain't gonna play my history like that. Sorry.
It's hard. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of fans.
Yeah.
Felt exactly the same way. People are territorial about their.
Yes, they are.
About their super couples.
Yeah.
I think too, I have a tendency to do this, and not just with Days of Our Lives, but in general, I'm always rooting for the underdog. So for me, it's like, okay, yeah, we can have Bo and Hope together, but what fun is that? Like, I want the guy that everybody else doesn't want to be with
if you
Hope.
have Bo and Hope together, and that's great.
Yeah.
But after a while, that gets boring. So you have to have the excitement, and as much as
Yeah.
I mean, I get tweets all the time that I should be off the show because I'm toxic to the show. It's like, well, listen, if it ain't going to be me, it's going to be somebody else. You might as well just enjoy this. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You might as well be the one getting
That's right. I don't care if you hate me. Haters are going to hate, baby. You hate.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm all the way to the bank.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, and was that pretty much that?
That's pretty much it. Oh, and also just the phone. Was the phone ringing seem like it was like an old rotary phone ringing sound? It was the phone rang continuously in one scene on one episode. It kept ringing when they were in the office. When they were in the office, it kept ringing in the background. Like, it kept annoying me.
So what do you all think is going on between Clyde and Aiden?
I don't know. There's
what's your guesstimate?
They're lovers.
That would be
hilarious.
I don't know.
At the same time, how funny.
I feel like obviously Aiden knows something about Clyde that has not been.
But we're sure that
yet.
it's Clyde. That it's not somebody else.
No,
it's Clyde. It's Clyde.
You don't
We know
think
about
it's
the Clyde, but I mean the other.
Whoever he's talking
on
to
him to get money, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
him. Oh, see, I don't know because that came so out of left field for me
same
that
here.
I was just like, oh, wait, oh, what? Like,
I don't know. I feel like it can't be Clyde just because of everything that's happened with him and Clyde. It's got to be another person.
So is it Andre DeMira or Tony DeMira?
Oh, maybe.
Doesn't it seem though that he's trying to get money from Hope? Isn't that the reason he's trying to marry her?
No, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't think they established it. Did they establish that?
I actually think he loves her.
I do too.
Me too.
I think he loves her, and I think he is being something bad is pressing on him.
Yeah.
But I think he genuinely
loves her.
I agree.
And he's like stuck.
I agree.
Aiden is a shady creep.
Well, I hope
That's not me. That's someone in the
I
chat.
hope they reveal whoever it is that he's been talking to. Oh, we forgot to mention the proposal.
Yeah, at the very end.
Yeah,
The proposal. I loved her reaction. Like,
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, it was
well, my reaction was like that when I saw the ring.
ring.
Yeah, I was like,
Did we all not think that?
Hey, Aiden, where did you get that ring from? Now that ring is huge.
It was huge.
I was like, that's not an
It's
engagement
probably
ring.
one of Christian Alfonso's.
Oh, Hope, Faith, and Miracles. That's right.
I bet you it is.
Yeah, it is.
because she used
And then
to
she'll
do
tweet
Yeah, she
later.
does. Yeah.
That's
I don't
true.
know. Maybe,
Yeah,
that's
maybe I
true.
bet it is.
But it was huge.
It was huge.
I was like, okay.
That's why something's funky with the whole.
Yeah.
proposal.
You think
Yeah.
somebody bought the ring to like entice him?
Maybe it's one of the blood diamonds.
Oh, please no.
If I see another elephant, I'll cry.
Although she was murdered, so.
Right,
Yeah.
all right. Well,
We love our Missy Archer.
Oh, we love her to
Yeah.
death.
I know,
Oh my
but
God.
please,
yeah.
it was the elephant. It was
Yeah,
the elephant in the
It
room.
was the
Yes.
elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Really a horrible story.
Was I the only person who like saw the proposal and thought like, oh my God, does Hope also have like land somewhere that Aiden needs
I
to?
know. Yeah, that's
So
what exactly.
land, these women with their land all of a sudden. I was like, there must be
1800s.
something.
I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
I don't know. Have any of your aunts ever come out of the woodwork and
No.
offered you any land in Ireland or anything like that?
No.
I had one try
No.
to take my land.
I don't have any land.
In your apartment.
That little corner in the living room.
It's called dust.
No, my apartment. I'm telling you to say that.
I was like, gee, Grandma Horton had something laying somewhere that obviously, maybe that's what it is. Clyde figured out something that Aiden figured out too, but Clyde is trying to get it, but the man is trying to get it too, and like Aiden's in the middle.
Can you say that again?
Say it again. Say it again.
I was looking back to see if you were looking back to see if I was looking back to see if you were looking back at me.
Can you say that 5 times?
Right, exactly.
I now know what like this move is for. It's kind of like a. Did you get it?
That would be a no.
Listen, I'm known for creating like storylines around here, so in my mind, it played out well. And then I spoke it outward, and I think I confused everyone.
I kind of got it.
Okay.
So can we talk about Billy?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just say, I love Billy Flynn, and I remember
not
the
as
first.
Much as Mark.
I know, but I remember the first day I saw him on air, and he started. I want to say, maybe around this, or a couple of months after I did.
Right.
But I was watching the monitor. I thought, "Oh my gosh, he is a movie star."
Yeah.
He's really, really, really talented.
Yeah.
And you know what? He doesn't really have any formal acting.
Right. Exactly. I know.
The interesting thing about Billy was at the Emmys the year before he was on, I was at the Days party, and I met him, and everyone kept it quiet for me, like who he was.
Yeah. Oh.
And
well, we know you talk.
I opened my mouth, so everybody couldn't tell me. So I met him. I was like, "Oh, nice guy." And I remember it was like a couple of them going, "This is Billy," and I'm like, "Oh, hey." And then I met him when we did the Days Hangout, which was the first one we did with Billy. I met him, and I went, "Oh my God, you're the same guy," and he hadn't been on air yet. And I tweeted, I think on Friday, I just truly believe he's one of the greatest young actors in the genre today. And I
saw that tweet.
And I couldn't, and I said truth, and it blew up. You know, it just shows you how he's resonating with the audience. What a fine actor. This past week he was amazing.
Yes.
He's been amazing all the time, but I just thought there was so much depth, and the way he played being heartbroken over Abigail, and then the thing with Serena, like all of it was just, he's great. Really
I would have had a cocktail with him.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Your husband is great. Your husband is great.
Gina won't like that, but I appreciate it.
He's just very, very talented, and I think he's got a great daytime career ahead of him. I don't think Days will let that man go anytime soon, but I think he has a real career outside of this genre for his rest of his life.
Yeah. And you're right. They let him showcase all the range he can do. He can be funny and flirty. He can be smarmy. He can be serious. He can be heartbroken.
But I do believe that he chooses to show those colors, because on the page it doesn't say blah blah blah, but he really allows himself to be moved and angry at with his scenes with Joe Muscola are just great.
Yeah. Well, and he said I don't know if it was because I watched your interview with him. I don't know if it was then or another one.
How many times did you watch it?
Did you watch it multiple times?
But he was saying that he doesn't learn the other people's lines. He just memorizes his lines and then goes off of that.
And then listens.
And then just listens and just
great.
Yeah.
But Kassie, you can speak to this on on scripts, right? How much is really, a lot of it's interpreted by the actors. There's a lot of stuff is outlined even in the dialogue. It's not that deep. I mean, how much do you guys improv from the script?
You don't improv. It's pretty much we say it as writ,
right?
But we put our take on it. I mean, you know, Eve's a tragic character. If I played her just one note, well, you'd really hate her. I mean, you hate her anyway, but if you'd really hate her, I mean, what's the point? You have to show some humanistic sides. Yeah. And I think Billy, you know, we already have a bad Demera.
Right.
We had that with
all of them.
Yes, all of them.
All others.
But he is really, you see him struggle with that, being a Demera, which is the other ones were kind of proud of it, but he really, you know, he's the prodigal son. He does not want to.
Well, he said something. And one of the dialogues he said to Stefano, "I've done without you guys most of my life."
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
This name, I came to you guys a few years. This name is not the same as it was for the others. And he said that.
Yeah, I love that.
Which was great.
Because it was a great line. It's like, you're right. He came to it late. He didn't grow up in Demera.
Yeah, it was a great line.
Yeah.
Steering away from Billy just for a second.
Yes, the others are storyline.
Only a minute.
Just only for a second.
Excuse us.
I am now starting to find Ben very creepy, especially this week. Like the whole wanting to rush into this wedding and like let's go to Vegas and just do it, and then so you know I've had friends who have been pregnant and everything like that. Why are you guys shopping for baby stuff like now? Like is it like to me is it too early?
Show how creepy Ben is. And, and I mean, I think Rob Wilson creepy is great.
Oh yeah, me too.
So much more interesting.
than him being like the good guy.
Yeah.
This is interesting, and he's got a fire in there, and I think that it's it's so creepy.
And he like no one else knows how to get on that DiMera compound.
And he is you just wait. He is stepping it up.
Yeah.
He is, he's not just standing behind the bar, cleaning glasses and talking.
Pretty boy.
Yeah.
And
And
it's actually a really smart move because now I am so invested in Chad and Abigail.
Yes.
Because you have to have that kind of person in the middle. Yeah. Because these are the two that are being kept apart by all these circumstances.
But I feel badly for Ben.
I know she did.
I mean, Ben, she has, She's a dog.
She's a slut.
Listen,
I slept with people.
I know sluts. I know sluts, so I know when I see one. I can call that kettle black. Okay.
on the stove.
So I feel badly, and he's got that app. He's got that follow Abigail app.
The Abigail app.
Oh my God.
Where did that come from?
Oh no, that was Clyde. That was
his.
I'm sorry.
And he struggled whether he wanted to do it, and it was one of the months ago. They were at the at the pub, and he said, "Do this." He said, "I'm not going to follow my girlfriend," and he said,
and he's been doing it ever since.
Did it. Yeah,
that's all he does.
But you sense that he doesn't want to, but. Now it's like
it's just second nature.
Now it's tuning into AfterBuzz TV.
Well, see, I don't feel bad for Ben, and this is why. Like, you've had all this time to confront Abigail and be like, "Listen, I know you slept with Chad. Let me lift this off of my shoulders." But he keeps piling stuff on.
Well, I think he keeps waiting for her to come clean.
Yeah.
And she doesn't.
Nope.
And she she walks in every time. He gives her an opportunity to go.
Yeah.
He goes, "Where you been?"
Yeah.
"Oh, I've just been doing this. I'm sorry. I got to look at it." So he's given her every opportunity.
I have to agree with that because it is kind of
as a woman
annoying. Like if you were in that position. It's like you can't trust your partner.
But see, I feel like I would have snapped by now. I would have just been like, "Listen, ho, like I know what you're doing. Like you need to come clean with this." Like I'm at that point for him where I'm like, why do you keep just letting her tell her like what you know?
Because I think he is so. I feel that he just. If he does that, then he will lose her.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
But there's somebody else. Well, no,
I know,
not
but
in
that's
Salem.
Not in Salem.
Not in Salem.
Well, there's always Eve.
If maybe not, we've seen this before.
This is true. This is very true.
That's very true.
Yeah. So I don't know. And then my second thought was like, how is he going to put the tickets back together? Like he ripped them. He ripped the plane tickets, and I'm like, oh, you can't let Abby know that you ripped up the plane tickets.
Well, she said she didn't want to go anyway.
Well, I mean,
now hasn't she been awesome?
Yeah.
Yes. She's
a little
been
emotional.
Yes. Well, I mean, who would be?
Well,
she had to figure out who her baby daddy was. She's now being forced to get married. Now she's found out that she has land in Ireland.
You know what kills me? Let me just say, I watched those scenes where she told her mom and JJ about her being pregnant, and they're like, "Oh, honey, that's okay." I don't think it, I don't know any mom that would go, "Honey, that's okay." She would, "Honey, do you realize you're not married?"
Yeah.
That Jennifer.
That
Jennifer. If it had happened to Paige, I would have.
Jennifer Rose. That's
there
right.
You go.
Jennifer Rose.
Going back to Billy now.
Okay.
It's Billy.
That was a great scene that he had with Stefano and Abigail and bringing Abigail in to say you don't have to worry about us anymore.
Oh no, that was when he was
my
drunk.
When he looked at her in his eyes with tears, I'm happy for you that you're pregnant. That was great.
Yeah.
It really was heartbreaking.
It was good. It was good.
But there was a slight look of I felt his wheels kind of turn are you sure it's not mine?
Totally
almost like this is my way in. But then
giving her an opportunity once again to say blah blah blah. I had this, so she's got a bunch on her plate.
She does.
I guess she does.
But you still, I feel for Chad so much because he loves that girl to Salem and Ireland and back. He loves her so much.
Well, his fantasy, the other day, fantasy when he was drinking the scotch. Serena was in the bathroom, I think. I thought, oh my gosh, way to go! She finally came to him. That's comes out of it.
That's so fancy.
Yeah.
Can we transition right here to what I'm going to say?
I know you're going to transition to.
Okay, we all need to talk about for a hot second.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes.
That
I have one of these.
If you watch Days of Our Lives on the NBC site.
Uh-huh.
The episode's a little different.
It is?
On Wednesday. You didn't see Wednesday's sex scene with Ben and Abby?
Yeah.
The made-for-internet version?
I couldn't tell the difference.
What?
I couldn't.
From what was aired? They didn't air anything.
Oh, they did?
I don't know.
Yes, they did. I saw it. They aired a long
What you saw
montage.
On TV
on
was
TV
different
was
from the
different
internet.
than the internet.
I watched both, and I was like, okay, I still okay, maybe not decide.
It was a long montage and pretty
montage.
sexy, and
Yeah.
she was like down there at his waist, unzipping his
That
pants.
was on
and-
regular TV too?
Yes, I don't have
Yeah.
internet.
I watch it I saw the internet.
I saw it on TV.
Yeah.
It was like
I
when
watched both, and I even went back and watched it a second
Did
time.
you watch it
Oh,
like at
you
the
were
same
just
time?
looking for Billy Flynn.
to see
You're gonna
Abby
do
and
racy
Chad's
sex
love
scenes,
scene
you
in
have
the
Rob
in the
Wilson.
grounds, and I thought, well, maybe on the internet it's dirtier. It wasn't.
Well, I kind of like I watched it first because when you messaged us, you were like, you have to watch it. So like I went and watched before I even watched any of the episodes this week. I watched that scene first, and so then when I watched the episode, I was like, okay, like I remember
That was on the regular TV.
Yeah, it was pretty much
Like
was.
she took the underwear off underneath and like threw it at
flipped
him, and
it
I
real
was
quick.
like,
Did it on the regular?
Yeah, it
Did her bra,
Yeah,
did her
and then a
underwear,
bra.
like.
It was very modern. It was very modern.
It was modern. I would just say they always use Rob Wilson for these kind of sex scenes. Remember,
Yeah.
Well,
All
he's
My
got the
the
body.
online version of All My Children.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the
He was.
perfect
I know.
body,
Oh, he does.
and she does too.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
and they're young.
They're young, yeah.
Okay.
Dedicate, yeah.
Well,
Young.
They did that for All My Children, the online All My Children. They did. I saw that.
They
You're
got
right.
the blowjob scene.
Yeah, they did.
I'm sorry, am I allowed to say
Oh,
that?
Yeah,
yes.
you sure can.
You say that.
It's
I was in shock. I was like,
Did
what
it make
am
your
I
hair flip up?
watching?
Did it make your hair flip up?
My hair was down when I got,
What were you shocked about?
just how explicit it was.
For
Like,
daytime.
Really?
On Days? You mean the Days?
Yeah.
one? I think this is good. This is another
No, I'm not
forward.
complaining,
Yes.
I guess.
No.
I
It
think
just surprised me.
I think the way it was shot and like how they
It was
went
black
from
and
like,
white, and it was
Right.
like
Yeah.
it was more like a vignette. They
Yeah.
weren't.
Yeah.
It
Choppy,
wasn't a
it's like-
montage. It was like boom,
Yeah,
boom,
and it
Yeah.
kept going from like I'm in my bra and panties,
I'm out
not
of my
anymore.
bra.
And it's like
having
it's like,
sex.
oh my
Yeah.
god, oh my god, what's happening? What's
I'm
happening?
having
Yeah.
sex.
I don't know. It was,
Now there was one point like she
pretty
was
intense.
holding on to his belt loop, and I was like, "What are you holding?" That was just
Oh,
me.
now
though.
we don't, are we
That's
really
just
going to
me,
go
though.
there?
You need an explanation?
There
There we go. Oh, wait.
But that was my thought. I was like, wait, what? Because that was after your raunchy, like it's
Yeah.
raunchy, and I was like,
This is
I mean,
wholesome.
I'm not, clearly I'm not a prude, so that's not the issue. It
You're
just
now-
completely caught me off guard.
You're
I
now-
don't remember the last time that it was that intense.
I
Yeah.
think that's one of. Here you go. There's a
A
change.
shift.
Their
Yeah.
shift that they're playing
Yeah.
with.
So I
Yeah.
want
The
Chad and
audience
Abby to
do
have
that.
sex again.
you now want that redo in the garden.
every Tuesday episode, I think they should have sex again.
Now, I just want to say I am sad because she was killed, but I saw total chemistry with Serena and Chad.
Me too.
Even though
And I liked
yeah.
her in those moments too.
Yes.
Where
I
she
liked
was
her so
she
much
was
better.
unapologetic.
Yes.
She was just
Yeah.
present, and
There was no
could
elephant.
Melissa Archer be any more beautiful than she is
Yeah.
right now in her
it's-
life?
yeah, she's beautiful, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's just stunning.
Yeah.
The
Just
two of them
stunning.
together, I talked to Melissa too. I mean, it's such a shame that at the very end that they got a chance. They never worked together.
I know.
Yeah.
So just having that happen at the end, even the whole way, there was such sadness in her scene, as there was with him. But the sadness underneath and the sex, the whole thing was really good.
I agree.
Yeah.
It reminded me. We're going to talk about a different show here.
Sure,
but
do it.
It reminded me of layers of Todd and Blair when they first met.
Yes.
The both kind of pathetic characters. Living in regret and came together over a drink. Of course, Blair didn't die, thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
but it was reminiscent of that.
yeah.
How'd you like being Amerasian when you first started?
Well, it was very interesting. Very interesting.
People always talk about them like it was a different actress. Obviously, they changed Blair for the better.
Well, same thing with Eve, I hope.
Yes,
Yeah.
So there you
yes,
go.
Yes, exactly.
Except she wasn't Asian. But
Yes, she was an Asian, so it's funny.
But the funniest thing was when they did the movie, and what was the movie, the David Vicker Man, and
Yes.
they had Mia Korf, the thing at the.
Yes,
yeah.
I love that. I love
It was
that.
my favorite thing.
It was a
So
great
funny.
nod back to
Oh,
those
yeah.
beginnings.
Oh,
yes. But also, I liked their scenes together. They were great. I liked they were flirty. But it just didn't work out. And then, of course,
Well, now
Well, it looks like Chad may have done it.
well, see, how do we feel about that?
See, well, I don't know, because he was so. First of all, the whole I just woke up from my hangover scene. Good job, Billy Flynn, on playing that, because I thought that was a strong choice for him. But just seeing him recount everything and really sit down and go, okay, so this is what happened. And you see all the flashbacks, him and Abigail, and then him at Club TBD, and him drinking with Serena, and then the slap and all that happened, and then it's just I can't remember. And I'm like, no, I need you to remember something. Yeah. What happened? I
think it's too obvious. I don't think it's him.
No,
it's not. There's no way it's going to be him. But,
no.
There's no way. There's no way.
No,
right.
And I think the tie was a significance because he never wears a tie.
Well, I think that my thought is that Clyde set him up for Ben's sake. To get rid of it.
Oh yeah, and I didn't like that scene with Clyde and Ben and Abigail and how
I hate it. That got me pissed. I mean, I was the viewer. Now I was just like, oh god, those guys are being so awful.
Yeah, it's it looks like he did it when they were trying to pin it on Chad. Yeah.
And then she walks away. I'll think I gotta go.
Yeah, and then of course because she loves him so much, I gotta go check on him.
Right.
Yeah.
Will finally said something right. He's like, you need to admit that you're in love with Chad.
Yes.
And she looked back you can tell? And I'm like, yeah, we can tell.
Well, and just even the scene, too, with her in the park when she's, about to call him, and then Ben walks out, I was going to call you.
You're liar.
But, last week it was no, I never want anything to do with you. And now it's okay, now I kind of want to do stuff with you again.
Oh, my gosh.
It was kind of creepy, actually. You know what was weird about it, though? When they decided when she had sex with Ben, it was just, coming off all of that, and then she was, so protesting about everything else. And she's like, okay. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waking up, breakfast in bed.
Oh, yeah.
And all of that.
And him defying Stefano, I think, was significant.
Yes.
Because that doesn't really happen very often.
You know what? That's why she took her underwear off the way that she did. She was really thinking about Chad and how he, stepped up.
Mm-hmm. I know I took my underwear off. TMI? Sorry, Mom. My mom might be watching. I didn't, Mom. I swear, I promise.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
My husband might be watching. I swear I did it.
What kind of show are we on?
Exactly. Days of Lights After Dark.
Yeah.
And you talk about the sing being like that?
I'm not complaining about it. It just caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for it.
Well, speaking of being caught off guard, let's travel over to Eve and JJ and Paige.
With her listening device. Mm-hmm.
Come here. Breaker.
And you're like...
I should have had I was really bummed, you guys. I wanted to bring a big ass glass of wine because that's what all he does is listen and drink wine and go, damn it, Jennifer, I'll get you yet.
Well, I don't know what electronics store Salem has, but they have a really good one for everyone to have all these bugs and devices and all that.
Devices.
Right?
It would help me get lots of stories.
I know. But can you believe that Eve called the cops?
I know.
I can't.
My mouth literally dropped when
well, she didn't call the cops. She called Sonic.
Yes.
It was on Sonic.
But still.
But
okay, but what Eve's? Kassie?
Yeah, but honey.
What is going on in her head? That she what is she? What's the? Is she?
I think she.
Is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
I think she's probably losing it, but I think she misses her daughter so desperately
doing anything
that she's and she's watching her Paige getting pulled into this quagmire, and she's just gonna pull out all the stops.
I couldn't believe that she went to Kyle and said JJ's working for the DA.
I know. I couldn't either.
You know what? When I was doing it, I didn't really realize how awful it was until you watch it in the context of the show. I'm like going, that's really bad. That's really
how
bad.
can she think this is good to help? That this will help her daughter.
I know.
Yeah.
She's not stupid.
I don't know.
She looks behind her.
I'm drinking bourbon over here.
There's one thing that I have to say that was really interesting to me. So you remember the scene? First of all, Melissa Reeves' hair and makeup look
amazing.
So fantastic.
Yes, I agree.
I was like, she should look like that all the time.
Yes.
And then
she usually does, though.
She looks great.
Yes,
and
yes.
I love her. So basically, when they came in and were saying, you've got to resign from the thing because you're right. Here's what I would have done. I would have actually made Jennifer running the drug thing. I
Oh, how funny!
Literally tipped it on its ear, like they did in All My Children with Vanessa.
Oh yeah. Marge
Doucet. Yeah. Wouldn't it be hilarious? I mean, I know Dave's fans. It's
oh my God, Jennifer Rose, my dad would die.
Wouldn't it be interesting if Jennifer Rose and JG were actually running into All right.
I love that. I love that. I love that.
But it would have been
the picture on the front of Sonics. Salem's new drug lords. I'm like, no, there's no way in the world that they with that picture are doing anything like that.
But I love somebody just wrote in the chat.
Are they yelling at me?
No, she said, does Jen never dust to find the
I'm stuck in the clock.
I thought that was funny.
You should have seen how long it took me to get that sucker in there. How many takes?
Really?
Can you move it over here? Like, can you move it? Like, can you see it now? Can you hear me? It took forever.
Wow.
But
I think what really needs to happen is Jack needs to come back.
Oh, here we go.
I knew you were going to somehow.
I think the only
we have
thing
not
that's
heard about
going
Jack
to
in a while.
help the situation will be for Jack to be back.
But this is creating.
He can't go on. He's like, yes.
But this is creating so much mystery. The drug storyline, and then Clyde and Ben, and this and Aiden. Like, is this all connected? Is it all separate? Right.
Yes.
So we don't know. And
maybe Jack.
God.
It could be because this is. Listen, hear me out on this.
Here we go.
Because we never saw him. Roman comes in and says, "I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry, Abby. He's dead." So he could be in with.
I thought he was in an elevator shaft, and Abby was in there.
Yeah.
And do you know that she has chosen as the actress to never have a scene where she's in an elevator now?
Oh, how funny!
Yeah. So Kate Mansi says, because she's in the hospital, works in the hospital, but you'll never see her come in and out of the elevator.
I
think it's smart.
That's a great idea. That's a really great idea.
That's really smart.
But I love when Paige says to you, kind of, why are you so worried about? I said, I'm like, no, I'm doing it. I usually don't do this. Yeah. To Eve, so you're not so worried about me being with a drug dealer. We know it's a drug dealer, and you're busy about JJ. It's like, but that's an interesting setup, actually, though, as a mother, because you're both thinking they're both bad. You'd rather have her with neither, right?
Right.
As Eve.
Yeah, I just want her to be home with me.
Right.
So we know that it's been publicized that September 8th there will be another death, another serial. So do you guys do you think you know who is the next victim?
I don't know.
It's not me.
Melanie.
Melanie's gonna come into Salem just to get killed.
Just to die. I'd let that happen.
It's Jack.
No!
I'm kidding.
But that would be great for you.
I don't. Let me see.
And I don't know, so I'm not going to tell you that I know. I'm just saying my guess.
Well, because Serena being murdered was random and
Very
like
random.
I have an idea. But I hate to say it in front of.
Let me say it. That's
Paige.
fine. Yeah,
Paige.
I think it's Paige.
I think it's Paige.
We're voting Paige.
Your daughter.
I'm voting Paige. Paige.
Paige. That does make sense.
I think it's Paige because this whole drug, there's something.
Yes. And now that Eve has called JJ out on it and didn't realize that Paige was kind of intertwined in it too, I think now something is going to happen where she's going to be. Well, I don't want to say caught in the crossfire, but it's gonna she's gonna be next to go.
Here's the thing: if Paige isn't next to go, my God, that means we're gonna see great scenes from you.
I know, Miss Cassie.
And we always like those.
Sip that tea, girl. Don't spill it.
I'm gonna say, buzz you later. Special segment. Being is for doing. Topic number 3.
I think I'm right. But I could be wrong.
Everybody in here thinks it's Paige too.
Oh, man,
okay, so I'm not.
But your scenes are going to be amazing, I'm sure. Already. I mean,
I will only tell you that the next 3 months from starting right now were some of the most wonderful experiences I've had in my daytime career.
Wow. Okay. Well, everybody's.
So I know. I mean, the writing is beautiful, the drama is beautiful, the story is tragic, and it was unbelievably challenging.
Wow.
But I just think the fans, it's just wonderful soap opera.
I'm usually good where she's concerned, because did I not guess that you were going to be having the on-screen affair with JJ?
You did, and I was like, "Are you kidding? Shut up!" No, I had no idea that was. I didn't know that I was going to be cast to play that. You thought I knew?
Maybe a little bit. I thought you knew. Oh, what's funny?
No, I just said I think this is what they're going to do.
Oh, how funny!
And she looked at me.
A couple people in here were asking for you what it was like for you to have those scenes and just be that cougar.
With Kassie was.
Well, you know what, Kassie is a wonderful young actor. Once we realized that was what the story was going to be, then you just have to go with it. And granted, he is just a couple of years older than my real life son, and my real life son is named JQ.
That's right.
So I mean, it was like, ooh. But I just wanted to make it as believable as possible.
Yeah.
And hopefully the setup was enough to make it believable. Eve, is very, very self-centered, and she just found out she couldn't sing. Was devastated. Very tragic for her. Drunk. JJ had just had one of his fights with Paige, and was drunk. And it's just kind of
and we say here on Dishin Days there should be more drinking.
That's right.
And didn't we leave last week with Eve having a drink with
Justin?
And I was telling her before.
Wasn't that great?
Chemistry abound.
Awesome. Yeah.
Chemistry abound.
It was so funny because as soon as you walked in and you dropped it and he picked it up and went, "Oh my God, that's genius!"
And
I never would have thought.
Same here.
The purse was so big.
I know. It's just like it's like, kaboom! Oh, sorry, there, Justin. I love Wally. I really love Wally, and my character will be intermingling with him.
Good.
And he's just great. I mean, I have known him forever.
Yeah.
I knew, my husband and I went to dinner with he and Rena back
Rena,
back in the day when we were both on ABC Soaps.
Oh, nice.
Doing one of those big Super Soap weekend things. So, it's like, so the first take, they go, "Kassie, can you not smile so much?" It's like, okay. Oh my God, it's just like, oh my gosh. It was like my last, you remember the scenes that she had with Rafe?
Yes.
Where she's sitting there? I was like, anybody that was kind of remotely in my age range, I was like, let me have some chemistry, please.
I'm just going to ask this real quick because this is interesting to me that someone said that you will be singing on the show around Christmas time.
Yeah.
I probably was not supposed to say that, but yeah.
Well, they said it. You didn't.
It's all over the internet today.
I know.
That's great.
That's all I can really say. But they've done a beautiful Christmas thing, and it's.
I'm trying to think. The last time you really sang on live, wasn't that on Guiding Lights, where you actually your character sang?
No, I sang on One Live.
Did you sing too? I'm trying to remember if you did. I couldn't remember if you did.
On the online version.
So it's.
You did on online version.
Yes, and I sang on One Life to Live forever and ever and ever. And it's so funny. If you YouTube it, you'll see all the times that I sang on One Life to Live was either to Roger Howarth, bless his heart, or David Fermero. Christian, because he was. So I thought, oh my God, those poor guys had to listen to me do it over and over and over again.
Well, I hate that Eve never got to explore her singing on Days. They just kind of cut that out.
Well, I think that was the whole story point. Is that she was this singer, came back to town and that's what she needed to make extra money to send Paige to Stanford.
Right.
And when that didn't, she couldn't. Not only could she not sing, she couldn't send her daughter to get her out of this hellhole of Salem.
Yes. In
Eve's point of view.
And then we wouldn't have had those beautiful moments with JJ that led up to the wonderful relationship they had.
Which gave me the cougar.
We thought you were going to get pregnant.
Yeah, I thought so.
I thought so too. I'm going, oh please, just go from bad to worse.
Yeah.
Well, I kept predicting you were going to fall in love with him. So do you think you did a little bit?
I think she became obsessed. I think she's obsessive compulsive, and I think, that kind of works.
Yeah.
At least. So
it's one of those moments where it's like, oh my God, you like me. You're going to be with me forever.
Yeah. Right.
But I want Paige to not be so angry anymore.
I know he doesn't want that.
She still has so much hate in her heart. Yeah, I just wanted to let it go. Well, she needs to be something.
I don't know.
She needs to be something.
I think she's interesting when she's angry.
Me too.
I think she's so much more interesting when she's angry.
Me too.
Because otherwise, it's kind of like walking through the role because they don't give her the material.
Yeah.
So
I thought she did a beautiful job with the discovery of, when the birthday and all that kind of stuff.
And I love that scene.
I thought Missy Reeves was spot on too. And she,
the
nailed.
slap.
That slap was good.
My favorite slap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did I use that slap on the Emmys? Because we were looking for bitch slaps.
Yeah.
For the segments we were producing for the Emmy Awards, and that was one of them.
No, it was not. It should have been.
Let me say that over. I gave them choices. That being one of them.
I can't believe that wasn't the mother of all.
That was such a great scene.
And I think she actually got my 3 Snaps award that week because of the way she did it. Like she was kind of at first like, I'm not gonna deal with this situation.
See you later.
And then it's like, you know what?
I'm gonna snap them up.
It's like she had a thought.
It was great.
Yeah,
it was great.
She was awesome.
Yeah. She wasn't to walk off.
One of my favorite things she's ever done, Melissa Reeves.
I think she just did a beautiful job. And then the scene come after that where we're in the town square and she goes, I will have my heel to your throat. She was like...
She was great.
Yeah. She was spot on. She did beautiful, empowering work.
I agree.
Oh boy. Well, we shall see how things unfold with the Horton Town Center, and I don't know why I keep saying Horton Town Center. Horton Center.
Horton Center.
And Eve and JJ and Paige and Kyle. I'm so worried about JJ now. I'm like, ooh, please don't go back into that house anymore.
Pizza rolls.
I had a few.
Oh,
have one.
Please have one. So a couple of tidbits. I
got to see Xander in a dirty tank top again on Monday. Made me happy. Sorry, Paul. Loved it.
He's a great actor.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy, great actor. We've had him on here. He's great.
He lies.
He doesn't lie. You are handsy.
I am not handsy.
You are handsy.
I'm handsy, am I?
he's handsy.
He's handsy. He's handsy.
Getting a reputation.
I can't believe that Brady fell for Teresa's stunt again.
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I don't think
No,
wait a minute, though.
Teresa.
I think Brady is a little abusive.
Ooh.
In what way?
I think he badgers her. I think she's a bad person, but he's really mean to her.
I will give you that. This whole contract of we basically raise the baby separate and try to have no
Basically, he's like, you're a piece of shit, and I don't give it. Blah blah. Blah. I'm not supposed to say that. You're a. But it's just like I don't like that.
Yeah,
well, but I think she
deserves it.
Of it. She's been doing a lot of nasty stuff.
Sorry, to say that.
You say crap.
She did. It was so like, oh come on, that look, and then him jumping on her, and the whole thing.
And it was fake.
I couldn't take it.
And it's like, hold me tighter. I'm like, you are setting him up, and Xander, you are falling for it, and then it's almost like, get off me. I'm like,
he's not
really?
that dumb.
He's not that dumb.
I thought that was real forced. It was forced. It was forced.
It completely.
So I guess they're just tying up that storyline, weren't they?
That was the end of that.
But when it was all said and done, and she tried to ask him out or whatever, he was like, "No, I'm not."
Right.
But then I was like, "Where were you a few hours ago when she created this whole storyline?"
Yeah, but. Yes and no.
But then I was almost kind of thinking like it's Xander, so everyone's kind of like,
yeah,
we'll go with it just to get you to jail.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean,
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either.
I mean,
that was my low point of the week.
Yeah,
the only low point.
That's true. I agree with you on that one.
But we saw the lead up to it. If you think about walking in and just seeing him on top of her with her screaming, I think he was justified in believing her. Like, I don't think it's that far fetched.
Well, he was protecting.
Yes.
But and everything we know about Xander, or they know about Xander up until that point, I think it was believable.
I'm just talking in general. Yeah. He is not... It's not. I don't see why Teresa would want to be with a man that's so mean to her.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
that's just.
But I think you should have more scenes with Teresa.
Donovan sisters.
Don't you love the Donovan sisters?
I love when honest to God, when you guys are together and having any kind of conversation. I'm so engaged, and I so want to hear what you guys are going to say to each other. I don't know. I just don't understand why there's not more of it.
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you think there will be any coming up?
Would you like to see more in the future?
I would. I mean, there's some, but they've never really fleshed that out.
No.
You know?
I would just love to see more of it.
Yeah.
I don't think Anne needs to be around.
Oh, I like Anne.
I have nothing against her, but I don't have Melanie to make fun of anymore.
So now you're moving on to someone else.
Yeah, the wrap dresses. Yeah, that's right.
Wouldn't you rather see sisters having those
would
scenes?
be fun. We could be Lucy and Ethel. We could do all kinds of escapades. You know, comedic things like sneaking in somewhere together. It would be.
And it's more justified for you two to be doing that together.
Yes.
Like this whole thing with Anne hating Jen, just to me is like it's so played out.
Right.
It's like turn the page. We get it. You didn't like her. You genuinely have reasons to hate her that are
decades long.
So it just makes I don't know, it makes more sense.
I would have loved
Hopefully
to have
we'll see more of that.
I would love to see some scenes with Teresa and Eve
and
getting
wine.
drunk.
Yes!
Playing a game, even playing a go fish and
quarters
or whatever it is, and it's all about Jen trivia.
Yeah.
That's not what it was. Take a drink.
You guys should play Never Have I Ever.
I don't know, what is that game? Can we play?
We might have to add that. Can we spit that in the lineup?
Yeah.
Anything we need to bleep? What are you
you're gonna need to for me.
So you say Never Have I would say Never Have I ever talked about Billy Flynn.
Liar.
Right. So
Much.
If you had, then you have to drink.
Right.
So
now I want to put this out there because we do storylines and things and bring it back. I think you should bring back Billy Warlock as Frankie.
I love Billy. I worked with him on
I actually met him before I met Billy before. He's
a nice guy.
You guys, that right there, storyline right there, the three of you guys, right there.
Yeah.
That was right there. Love it.
All right, well.
He's such a great actor. Come on, Days of Our Lives. Bring him back, too.
Hello, can you bring him back?
Bring him back for Kassie,
Is he
please.
available?
Billy's great. I mean, I loved Frankie and Jen.
Yeah.
Were great.
Yeah, it'd be really great. Well, I mean, it's out there that A. Martinez is coming.
Yes.
So.
Hey. What a great actor, too. That's be great.
Fabulous.
Which you know that I'm doing this day's hangout with Camila Bannis and Galen Gearing Tuesday at we're doing it at Days of Our Lives on Tuesday at 6:15 Pacific time, so fans can watch that.
You have to let us know so we can put a link.
We can tweet it.
It's gonna be really fun. And we have people, fans from around the country being part of our hangout. So we'll be able
I might have to do a photo bomb.
That's so funny. Oh, great.
So that's Tuesday.
Wow.
Really quick, Nicole was going around suing everyone.
In an amazing dress.
In an amazing dress.
She how could anybody even talk to her without looking at her?
I know.
I was looking at
that pink dress, she is stunning.
She is stunning.
And my favorite part of the whole thing is when she said she's going to do a new career and get away from journalism or whatever. And I'm like, good, you're right. Let's all get away from journalism. and she's like, and he's like, what do you think I'm going to do? She's like, what did she
Porn star.
Well, whatever she does, like,
I like that too. That was a good one. But she looked fabulous.
Oh gosh, she always looks fabulous.
Yeah,
she's so beautiful.
And then we had the return of Patch and Joey.
Not a happy reunion.
Kayla did not look happy to see
Joey. Didn't look happy.
No, Joey walked off that elevator like, ugh, why am I here?
She was like, I'm on Days of Our Lives.
Yeah. It was just kind of like, I'm in trouble. Kayla comes rushing over like, oh my God. I still don't understand how these parents get in contact with these schools.
Yeah, right.
Eve was always at Salem University with Paige, and my mom was never at school with me, but Eve was always there. Now you got Kayla.
Was that ridiculous? I wanted to wear put my hair in dog ears and backpack. Go, hey Paige, when's your class?
He always said that. Tony always said that. It was like she's always showing up.
She's always there. Hey, I know your class schedule, and I know you're in between, but listen, I want to talk to you about this. I'm like, how does she know?
My son would be mortified.
I was just like, how do they know?
I know. But when he said sweetness, my heart did drop a bit. Yeah. It did.
But then it went to her, and she was just like. It's almost like that look that Hope may give Bo. Like, where have you been?
Yeah, I kind of didn't know if that's the scene I wanted for the first one, but
we'll get the real stuff.
But what about the end?
Oh, I gotta look restarted.
I thought it was so great how, of course, Victor sneaking into Carolyn.
I know.
And Maggie knew. Maggie was like,
Maggie's gonna get together with Ben, and they're gonna be pissed off at everybody.
Can I
borrow your app?
And Paige.
Can I have a Victor app?
But I thought it was such a great way how like they were having that conversation, and she was just like, "I'm having this dream, you know," and I normally have dream about both, and then they were like intertwining to like, and I was just like, first of all, that's like how my relatives are. I hate getting a call from one of my relatives that's like, "I had a dream about you last night," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" So it kind of made me feel like that. Like it's like this presence, like something is happening with them. Yeah.
I thought it was great. I had heard that that's why Steve is back. He's back to help find Bo.
Yes.
I think you will be hearing that very shortly.
Yes.
And I also think, obviously, watch out for what John.
Yeah, John. I agree.
Well, I think that will all be revealed in short time. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to kind of shore that up. So that's the story that we're telling. Yeah. So it's not all these pieces.
Well, the preview for next week shows that he
it does.
is talking about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's that. And that was pretty much it. The week of days. Let's go quickly into our segments before we have to wrap things up. And of course,
it's gonna be over
soon.
This is terrible. The sand is emptied.
I know.
Oh my god, it is over.
You can turn it back.
Flip it back over. This is too sad.
We usually like set it and forget it.
Forget it.
So
let's set it and forget it.
A commercial.
Yeah.
Okay. She does. You got it.
She do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're gonna start with my segment, which is the 3 Snaps Award, and there were thank you. There were so many. There were quite a few options, but I decided to give my 3 Snaps Award to the Salem court system, and this is why. This is why. Because only in Salem could you yourself sue the person that you wanted to sue, and not only hand them the subpoena the day of, but also collect your check the same day.
No kidding.
I know.
Yeah.
You can get money for months.
And you probably got to cash it
that day. So I have never known of any like court thing like happen like that to where like you had.
Who gets to serve? Nobody.
It's like I'm suing you, and by the way, you've been served. See you in court later on. And I won. Yeah. I like my check now. It's like okay.
I agree with your 3 snaps.
But like, her dress was fabulous.
She was. As she trotted around Salem, handing Xander and Serena.
I gotcha. I was like,
leaving journalism to be a summons.
That was a little crazy. Give him the snap. Do it.
The Salem court system gets my official 3 Snaps Award.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I want to go sue somebody in Salem so I can get my money.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right. That's
$250,000.
I know.
Sweet.
I know.
And now we're going to move on to another favorite segment. We have Look Who's Related.
Look Who's Related. So, on soaps, the family trees get distended and broken and twisted and turned. So I always try to remind people who are related to whom. I guess I said that correctly. But this week I decided to do just one character who's one of the most related people to most people on canvas. A lot of people on the canvas. So we're starting out with Will Horton.
The picture?
That picture is going to come up.
Okay. So Will Horton. Let's now follow what I'm going to go here with Will Horton. He's related to a lot of people.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do basic. His parents are Lucas and Samantha Jean. So I did both of them.
There you go.
That was very fair.
I'm sure I did that to be fair.
To hear about it later.
Yeah, no, I would have. So I know. I'm really fair. Okay, so Will Horton has 5 uncles and 5 aunts. Uncles are Austin, Rex, Eric, Mike Horton, and if you went through them in Brady, kind of, because he's kind of like an uncle.
Right.
His aunts are Carrie, Belle, Kassie, Billy, and Jennifer.
Kassie.
Brady.
Oh, Kassie.
Wait.
Not Kassie DePavia. I play Eve, okay?
Yeah, the Gemini twins.
That's what threw me.
Now, he has siblings, which are Johnny, Allie, and Sydney. He has 2 sets of grandparents still alive, Rowan and Marlena. You can add John in there if you want to. And Kate and Bill Horton. Now, Bill Horton's over in Africa.
Oh.
Now, sorry. Then he has his great-grandmother, Caroline Brady, of course. He has the whole Hortons and Brady's and Kate's family, cousins like Teresa, JJ. So he is the person who's like related to a lot of people.
Abigail,
a lot of people.
Yes.
So anyway, you can go on and on, but that's basically looks related with Will Horton.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's probably why he's gay and he went out with the guy.
He's nobody left. He's related to everybody.
There's nobody else.
We don't have any other choice.
Like, listen, I got to switch this thing up. Turn it up, turn it around.
That's right.
Turn up, turn around.
Now, if Will
That's a
ever,
good one.
if Will ever needs a friend, # Maxine's son.
That's right here. He's ready.
All right, and now we have Mark's quote of the week.
My quote
There's
of
some
the
good
week.
quotes this week.
There were a lot of good quotes.
I wrote a bunch down last week.
I was almost going to be Paige calling you Eve.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
But I felt like there was one that was like a standout.
Okay.
Like that I think if I didn't do it,
Okay.
and I'm not doing it because it's Ballet Flag.
Right.
But come on, when Rafe walked in and showed him the badge and said, "Where'd you get that? Yard sale?"
Oh, yeah, that's a good
I just thought, it was like,
Yeah.
it summed up the week. I felt like just with Rafe getting his job back and then showing the badge the first time.
That's good.
Where'd you get it at the yard sale? So Billy Flynn, that's my quote of the week.
That's a good
Come
one.
on, the year of the decade.
All right, before we wrap things up, I wanted to take time to interact with our fans. Our fans always love calling in and asking questions and everything like that. So we're going to open up our phone lines to have some questions for Michael and for Kassie. So you can call us 424-256-1729.
Make them good.
Make them good. And I believe we have our first caller on. Caller, welcome to DISHIN Days. You are on live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, hi. Hello. I'm Jamel from Brooklyn.
Hey, Jamel. How are you?
We know you. How are you?
Yes, we're very familiar with you.
Yes. Hi.
What's your question, comment, concern?
Well, no concerns. I'm happy with the new writing team. But Kassie, you know what? I met you one time
I remember.
a couple of years ago. I met you one time a couple of years ago on West 96th Street and Broadway. You were the sweetest person, and you were the sweetest lady in person. Absolutely,
I
you were
am.
so sweet.
Yes.
Well, thank you. That's all you wanted to know? That's any dirt.
No. I had a couple of things. I wanted to say that I'm happy and excited that you're going to be doing. You're going to get some more, I guess they're going to give you some more meat to play with, as you're such a powerful actress.
You mean some airtime.
And, and
Thank you, Jamel.
Yeah, and I want to ask you about the truth, but this, I guess, is a larger list question. You played with two of my favorites, Robin Christopher and Susan Patton. And I wanted to know, how was it to work with those ladies?
Well, I love both of those women. Robin Christopher played Sky, for you that don't know, and Susan Batten played Luna. And Susan Batten, I am still very, very close friends with her. She and her husband are our dear friends back in New York. And I don't see Robin Christopher, but I just adore her. And I've enjoyed both of them. I played opposite when I was playing opposite my husband, Jim DePaiva, who played Max on One Life to Live. And Robin Christopher cut my hair off on camera. And Luna, I ran over with the truck.
That's right.
I'm just saying.
But I liked the scene when you was in Atlantic City and y'all was fighting, and she y'all pretty had a pretty good cat fight. When you went to Atlantic City.
We did.
But I think, and I hope that they give you some, because my favorite Blair thing was when you had a live show in 2002 and Charles told you about the baby, and it went down in history as one of the best, I guess, for a leading actress in daytime to really do, and do the work you did. So I'm excited about what they did.
Well, you're sweet. Doing that live show was pretty exciting, and I was very scared, but thank God I remembered my lines. That's all that matters. But thank you, honey. That's very kind of you to say, and I loved your comments.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for always calling in and supporting us, and make sure you keep watching, and if you haven't already, like us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you, Jamel.
Another call?
All right, we have another caller. Caller, welcome to DISHIN Days on AfterBuzz TV. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Cheryl from South Carolina.
Cheryl, how are you?
We know Cheryl.
We have our regular callers,
Well,
so we're always very happy to chat with them.
Yeah.
So, Cheryl, you are on live with us and our special guests, Michael and Kassie. What questions do you have for them?
Well, first thing I want to say is, Michael, I love your interviews. I look forward to them every time.
Thank you so much.
Kassie, I have a question. How was it to work with Roger Howarth?
Oh, yeah.
Roger Howarth is probably one of the most divine actors out there, and I'm not even talking in the daytime world. I really enjoyed working with him. We had an unbelievable connection, and Todd and Blair were magical. And I think he's great with everybody that he works with. So I just was one of those lucky few that got to work with him.
I never watched One Life to Live or Guiding Light, not for years anyway, but I loved the dynamic between Todd and Blair on General Hospital when you guys came over.
That's
Well,
right.
it was fun, and Mike, I was invited to come play over there pretty much to pull me away from Todd so Todd could be free to be with Carly. So it was a little painful for me as an actress, kind of letting go of that brand that I had felt like I had created and taken care of for the last 18 years. But I loved that opportunity, and I loved working opposite Laura Wright.
Oh, yeah.
And the Todd and Blair goodbye scenes were very, very painful.
They were painful to watch.
They were.
I just want to say one thing, and then I'll let you go so other people can call in. I love the dynamic between Eve and True. Kassie and True.
Yeah.
When Eve and Paige first came on the show, but I have to tell you that angry Paige makes me sick. I just can't watch her. I can't watch angry Paige.
Cheryl, I'm with you.
See, Tony feels the same way.
I can't deal with angry Paige.
I know.
I like her angry.
She has every right to be angry, but
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry. And lastly, I fear that Eve's call to Sonic set in motion Paige's death. That's what I feel.
Yeah, we're all
I think the panel
say it
agrees
isn't
with-
so. Say it isn't so.
I wish you would say it wasn't so.
Well, can I come back next week?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Please do.
Cheryl, thank you so much for calling in, and to keep watching us. We're always here every Sunday. All right, we have another call here. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's DISHIN Days. You are on live. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Hi, I'm Taylor. I am from South Portland, Maine, way up here.
Wow.
Hi,
and
Taylor.
I'm talking to Kassie.
Okay.
Hi. Yes.
I'm wondering if you're ever going to come up to New England area and maybe do an event.
Well, Michael Fairman and I are going to come down, and we're taking our show on the road. It's called, instead of Kelly and Michael, it's Kassie and Michael. And we're going to go do it, and we're just going to talk trash about everybody we know in the soap opera world.
$175.
Yeah, you better charge. That's why you better charge.
We would love to come
That'd
up
be
there.
fun.
I would love to come up there. I am busy working here in Los Angeles right now, but if my time ever opens up, book it, and Michael and I will show
We'll
up.
be there.
There
Okay.
we go.
I've never been to Maine.
Oh, Maine is so beautiful,
it's
too.
beautiful.
Yeah,
I just talked to my girlfriend, Hillary Smith, who lives up there in the summer.
Oh,
and
Hillary
I spoke to her
Smith.
today, and she's up in Maine. And I said, oh, it's so beautiful up
All
there.
of here,
Yeah.
so disclose from everyone else.
Well, thank you, Taylor, for calling in, and cross your fingers for that Kassie and Michael tour.
Yeah.
You know I will be.
Thank you. Before we take our next caller, Michael, Lisa wants to know, where did your love of soaps come from? Because
good
you
question.
cover so many, and you've covered them for many years.
Well, my love of soaps actually started when I was very young. I was probably 8 or 9 years old, and I was sick, and I couldn't go to school a lot. And my mom watched As the World Turns and Days of Our Lives and all the ABC shows. And so I was an asthmatic, and I wasn't well, and I couldn't go to school for like 6 months. So I started watching these shows.
Yeah.
And I kind of got separated from the kids in school because I wasn't relating to them because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So these soap operas kind of became my family. And how we always say they're part of your family and they become of you. That's what happened to me with the characters.
Yeah.
Little did I know years later that I would use the knowledge and passion that I had for them as a kid and make it a career. It was something I always loved, and I always loved the stories about hearing about people whose lives it saved or helped them get through a difficult time, or I think it's so true. It helped me through a difficult time, and I think there's such value in the genre. So when I see people trashing it, or it's out of date, it helps so many people you don't realize, and it saved my life. So
What story resonated in your youth? What one really touched your heart or resonated the most?
The one that I just remember, the one that just blew me away. This is a little later than I started, but it was Judith Light on One Life to Live as Karen.
Yes.
It was the hooker with the heart of gold. The feeling that she was so put upon, and what she tried to do to get out of her circumstances, how she was misunderstood, and this just incredible, never, I don't think, matched performance that we will ever see again.
Such judgment that she,
such
that
commitment to
the
courtroom scene. But it was all of it. It was all of that, and Erica Slezak as Vicky is probably one of my, watching her from years and years and years ago. That was a character that was like, who doesn't want somebody like Vicky in their life? You know, she was such an anchor for me. So One Life to Live, as Kassie knows, was really an anchor for me growing up. I watched all of it. So it was like 1968 it premiered, and I think I was 7 or something like that. But that show really helped me. So when I had to say goodbye to it, it meant so much, and it was so difficult for me. As I know so many fans with Guiding Light, World Turns, All My Children, all of these shows, I think it is such a vital part of people's lives, and I hope people always realize that. So they've done a lot of good.
They miss it. It leaves a big void in their lives.
Like every day there is a hole for those shows and the people that we don't get to see.
Well, it's funny you say that, because a lot of my friends will say we were all raised on them. My grandmothers watched them. My mother watched all ABC. Generational. They watched them while they were watching us.
My godmother watched them all, and I would literally sit in a room with her, and she would flip from channel to channel and knew exactly what was going on, and I would just sit there in awe, and I would just wait until Days was back on so that I could sit there and know that one, because I knew none of the other. But it amazed me how she just went back and forth, and that was like her life. So interesting.
Good question.
That's a great question.
We have time for.
I just want to ask one thing, because I've been wanting to ask, because she's so sweet on Twitter. And it's so wonderful, Robin Strasser.
Oh, yes.
And because she actually said my grandmother's name once on Twitter, because I'd said something about my grandmother. She's like, oh my God. So how much? Just a few things about Robin.
Strasser, unbelievably creative, can take anything on the page and make it work. I think one of my most memorable moments with her, we were definitely Lucy and Ethel.
Yes, you were completely,
I could see Jen Lilly and our characters being very Dorian and Blair.
Oh, easily.
But I would say is our Grey Gardens. Did you remember?
Yes.
I was
see that
Garden.
Grey Garden?
Yes.
That was very, very funny. And we did the escapades where we were Marilyn
Monroe for Darren
with,
Vickers.
Yeah.
But I just love. She was so sweet on Twitter.
She's
very outspoken.
Robin's such an invested actress. How she plays her part. She's
I
150% in it.
believe it.
She wants to be Dorian, and she loves her soap fans, and she loves this genre. And I could tell. I think she misses One Life to Live more than any of us.
I agree.
She misses Dorian. I miss Blair. You know?
I miss all of them.
Me too. No, me too.
My mom loved Blair. By the way, you've met my mom.
Yeah, so she's so sweet.
She loved it. She actually, when she came to the Days event with me, she was like, "Is that Blair?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh my gosh!" So she loved it.
Did she whisper like that?
She did. She did.
Okay.
She did. You don't want her to get too loud, because my mom,
I've seen her.
Yeah,
I've seen her.
Yeah, you know exactly how she is. All right, so you guys, thank you guys so much for watching us live. We've had over 100 people watching us live and taking in all of these questions. We tried to get to as many as we can, but we have to wrap things up, so we're going to move on to some news and gossip. All right, so we'll just move on to... there we go. All right, so
that's interesting.
As you guys know, we have a lot of familiar faces returning to Days, and we got some dates for you guys. So we already know that Peter Reckle, who better known as Bo, we've seen...
Who? He hasn't been there since I've been there.
Well, we've seen his back and the familiar tattoo, but
body doubles back.
Yes. Well, he's set to arrive on September 8th. So
that's soon, you guys.
That's soon.
Right on.
Yeah. Yes, that's a week and a half.
So we shall be seeing him, and then also it was just announced that Camila Bannis, who plays Gabby Hernandez, will be back on September 17th.
And I'll be talking
so
to her
talented.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yes.
And stunning, beautiful.
I agree.
And I think
So
she should have won the
beautiful.
Daytime Emmy this past year.
Easily.
Okay, we can. Okay.
Yeah, I agree on that
I
one.
totally agree. Yeah.
Great
She's
actress.
beautiful.
Yes. Now, for all you fans who are itching to meet your your favorite Days of Our Lives store, we have an event coming up in St. Louis with the Starstruck fan event. And we're actually giving away 2 tickets to the September 11th event. So make sure you go to Facebook and like us on Instagram. We are going to extend our contest until September 6th. So make sure you get in all those entries. And it's really simple. All you have to do is comment and tell us who is your favorite person and who you're excited to meet, and then you just might win 2 tickets.
I wasn't invited.
You're not a blast.
You're working on a tour.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to be in Maine. I'm in Maine. That's right.
We're booking tours.
Right, exactly.
We got a big tour.
Exactly. So for more details on that event, make sure you go to starstruckfanevents.com or their Facebook page, which is Starstruck Fan Events. And now let's go into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
prediction.
So, have we all seen the...
This is hilarious.
We have special effects.
I love the special effects.
For us, it's just,
it's drug-induced in here, you guys.
It's drug haven. Okay, go ahead.
Have we all seen the 50th anniversary, super clip?
Yes. So that was really nice.
I've watched it a few times, and I'm like, oh, this is the days that I remember.
First of all, when I saw that promo, I loved it so much. I watched it over and over and over again, looking for every moment. And what I loved about it was, how they captured it and everything. And having done, when I did the tribute to Days for the Daytime Emmys, I put together that tribute package. I thought this was so good. Like, if I had gotten to do it, I think I would have done it like that.
Yeah.
It was so well done and exciting.
It is.
One of the best promos I'd seen.
It brings that excitement back to Days that and fans have hung in, through all of it.
Well, Days is a heartfelt show.
It is.
And you really, it brings you back to the heart of it.
Well, Days is a multi-generational show too.
Yes.
It's very much hinges on that. So that's where the heart.
And I also think what was good about that promo, and I think this can really help them moving forward. Because they're 6 months ahead. What's good about this is starting to show some things that haven't happened yet. Where before, because none of the new story was airing, they couldn't really go anywhere. Right. So I'm hoping they continue this as the great stuff unfolds. Because in primetime shows, you get to preview stuff before it happens. It's not everyone's not like, oh no, they gave it away. You can give it a little bit away. I think you need to give a little bit away because it's going to be out there anyway.
Yes, that's true.
Well, it's funny. As I was watching, I'm going, wait a minute, that air already?
Right.
Oh, wow, they're using old footage and
stuff we haven't seen.
Not now footage. I mean, we're talking down the road.
It was smart. It was very smart.
I agree. I totally agree.
Any predictions on what's coming up? We already...
I know. But I'm going to sit here and sip my soda.
Well, we already know that Patch is back to help with the rescue of Bo.
Now, are the fans... Listen, guys, aren't you happy that Patch is back? I was a huge Patch and Kayla fan.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
I wonder what she's upset about, though, because she didn't.
Well, they broke up. They broke up last time. They broke up on camera.
Do we know why they broke up?
No.
I was thinking that too.
No.
I mean, we're going to learn why they broke up. I understand that is coming in short order. We will get the answer to that, which they need to do so they can move the story from there. Like, how do they get back together or whatever?
And they've got this son, and
now we've got the sore-assed teens.
I can't wait for that.
So that's really, and here's what's interesting. Like, there's a interesting approach to adding characters, but yet kind of doing it organically by making them older. So we'll see how that works. I think it'll work.
I think it will. It's almost kind of reminding me of like The Last Blast, like with like Chloe and like Belle, like when they were in height. Like the Sorrels is starting to remind me of that.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, because I've just gotten the wrap up.
like shut up, Tony.
Everyone, go around and let our fans know where they can find you, like you, keep up with you. Mark?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lorraine Love, LORAYNELOVE, and on Facebook / the Mark J. Freeman.
And Michael?
You can find me at michaelfairmansoaps.com, at Michael Fairman on Twitter, Michael Fairman On Air on Soaps on Instagram, and there's 2 Facebook pages, the Michael Fairman Facebook page and the Michael Fairman On Air on Soaps Facebook page. Shut up. And I'll be doing a Days Hangout on Tuesday with Camila Banas, A. Martinez, and Galen Gary.
And send us the link.
You will see the link, like you did, on social media Tuesday.
Okay.
The link will be up in the afternoon.
We'll
We're going live at 6:15 Pacific, 9:15 Eastern.
Got it.
And we'll make sure we tweet it out.
We'll totally tweet it out.
James Lott Jr.
You can find me at Black Hope LA on Twitter. It's BLAKHOPELA. Facebook, James Lott Jr. Follow our DISHIN Days page, please, and follow my GH Report page. My new show is coming on at AfterBuzz TV in the fall.
And Kassie.
My name is Kassie DePavia. I play Eve. You can find me in Hollywood and Vine. No, I'm kidding. I have a Twitter at Kassie DePavia. I have Facebook. And I have a blog that I write every 3 weeks or so on KassieDePaiva.com.
Nice.
You can buy all my CDs and all my stuff there.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com. Special thank you to Michael Fairman and Kassie DePavia.
Thank you.
Thank you for
coming on.
Love you guys.
And thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next Sunday for another DISHIN Days.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.